yesterday we witnessed, barbarism at its best. We had a meeting here. We were meant to have a meeting, a consultative meeting of the NCA organs, drawn from all parts of the country, including Harare. The purpose of our meeting was to discuss our strategies of opposing Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment number 3. It was not a meeting to say, are we in support or are we not in support? It was a meeting knowing very well that our position is fixed. We think it's nonsense that should be rejected and that we should campaign against it. So we were meant to discuss the strategies of how to go about our opposition. Because it was an internal meeting consisting of the leaders of the organization, in terms of the law, and the law is very specific, when a political party is holding such a meeting of a consultative nature, of a structure, of a body that is set out in terms of its constitution, that political party need not notify the police under MOBA. That was also even the position under POSA. And in addition to that, where you are having a meeting within your premises, and I think all members of the media, you can see, we are in a closed place. The only place that is open is the gate, but which is closed with, this is a private place, owned by the NCA. The government knows, you go to the government, you go to the deeds registry, you will see that this property, 348 Heritage Temple, Bumbiro House, you will see that this property is owned by the NCA. We are the owners of this building. So they know that. And so in that kind of private environment, you don't notify the police. And you shouldn't, because the law does not require you to do that. And we have never done that in the past, and will not do it in the future. So we were holding our meeting with the tents that we saw going out. Then the police came. They had done that 2 days earlier when they abducted our members in the meeting that they held here. I'm sure that is already in the public media. And they parked the 2 vehicles outside. Then they were entertaining other vehicles that were not marked as police vehicles, but without number plates. And these people will come in and out. Those persons were actually also members of the police or a security establishment, with a very clear coordination between them. When the meeting was about to start, in fact, someone was making an announcement in the tent that we are waiting a few minutes so that we can now start. Other people were still arriving from Harare will join us in. They thought the meeting was kicking off because there were people there. Then they forced their way at the gate. There were people at the gate, the members that were ushers there. They forced themselves there with all forms of arms and so on. What we saw with the baton sticks and other things that were hidden. You also know that they then fired the shot. Now when they did that, I actually went to them to just find out what was, because some of our members really wanted to confront them and say, look, why are you coming to disturb us? We are a political party, we are in a private space. We know that ZANU-PF is currently organizing meetings everywhere. Even as we were doing our meeting here yesterday, ZANU-PF was holding what it was calling consultative meetings in the provinces, at their offices or in some other places. And so there was that. So I feared that there might be an ugly confrontation between our membership and the police. So I came in between and said to our members, please, let's just go back, we hear one. And they couldn't give me a chance to have a conversation with them. They fired shots in the air, which scattered everyone. And then they came for me. They started beating me up, left, right, and center. Madhuku, what was wrong? Etc. But because I wasn't running away, I was just sitting. I had taken the position we used to do in the past, where such events occurred in the past, you would sit down, and then you would be told under the First Republic, you will be told that we are under arrest. And you normally not be beaten further once you have more or less surrendered, which is what I did. So I sat there. But that was again an opportunity to come back to me. They would go around, chase people, then you come back. At least each one of them had to give me blows. I think there were 5 or 6. Like they'd arranged that you can't go away without beating this person. They're beating all over. And then you go to our members who were beaten, other members who wanted to come to me to get my phone and so on. You have effort who was there and so on, who also suffered just because he wanted to come to the aid. So it is that unprovoked attack, which then left 17, now that's the number, 17 of our members injured, all sorts of injuries. I think you are aware of that. We then took them to two medical institutions, one at the Avenues Clinic, and the others were taken. Here I must mention the Doctors for Human Rights that came in and said they will assist with part of our course. But yesterday's thing was totally unwarranted, and I must put it on record that it was the police. It can never be anyone else, because it's not a matter of doubt. It was the police. So when they left here, the police vehicles were still parked outside. Then some of them went out, got into these unmarked cars, others joined the police vehicles. They left together. So came in different ways. The police, the uniform police first, and then these are the people coming in. But when they were then leaving, they left together. So our intention was very clear as far as we know it. The idea was that if anything was going to happen to those people, we would be told that we have stoned police officers, we have resisted police authority. But if that didn't happen, then we would hear the narration that we were not involved. That's the trick. The trick is that if they get away with just simply torturing you and so on without them receiving any blows in return, the police will say we don't know who they were. But if you were to attack them in one way or the other, you will then be accused of, they will become police officers the moment they received that sort of thing. So they therefore disrupted the meeting. They beat us up, as you saw, but all our members were then treated. And the last person to be discharged from observation, the two hospitals, was at around 8 p.m. I was among those who were the last ones from Baines Avenue, Avenues Clinic, 8 p.m. And so all our members are recovering now from home. No one is still in hospital. Is that correct?
Yes.
It's no one is still in hospital as we speak. They were all released with various bruises, etc. I have seen a purported statement from the Zimbabwe Republic Police, which says that the NCA made an application, or they notified us, and then we responded to say that there were irregularities, and then they went ahead with an second meeting. I'm very much disappointed by that, but that's a lie. It's not true. The NCA never informed the police about the meeting on Saturday. We would not have informed them. We know the law of the country. An internal meeting does not require police notification. So we never did it. We never received anything from the police, and therefore it is a complete fabrication by the police, if that statement belongs, if they are owning it up. But I've seen that government spokespersons are doing the same. I'm advised here that I think it's Mr. Nick Mangwana in one of his tweets has been propagating that lie. It's a known lie, but this lie is not a small lie. We as an organization are taking it seriously. Why would the police force lie? Because they know they never received a notification from the NCA. They know they never engaged anyone from the NCA. But why are they putting it across as the official position? It's actually they know that they were involved in the process.